Well, this is evidence of the sorts of war crimes that can be tried in international courts, and leaders of Israel and those that support them could potentially be executed. So we have a legal system in the world, believe it or not, still, although it's very slow. Once a conflagration has got to the point of the end, you can then be in the situation where those who are responsible for mass killings, all sorts of war crimes, will be arrested, they will be tried, and they possibly will be executed. And so I think those who are collaborators with Israel, the Quislings and the Israeli Ben-Gvir, Benjamin Netanyahu, Smotrich, and the rest of them, know full well that this is all or nothing now. And I think that's why they are not honouring the agreement, despite all the pomp of Trump the other week and last week and a week ago, in fact. And despite all these things, what they're doing is they are actually, they want to perpetuate this war. They want to keep the war going. It seems quite obvious that the slaughter, the genocide, is only on a small abatement. For example, one of the most important parts of the agreement was that Israel was going to actually comply with international law and allow aid in, particularly food, fresh water, and medical supplies. But there's lots of other aid that's necessary. You know, basic things like musical instruments. They are banned in Gaza by the Israelis. And these are needed by all children on this earth to learn. These are the things that they've been stopping. This is why it's being called a genocide. All the basic things for civilians have been stopped. So it seems to me that, you know, we have a very fragile peace, but we have a very dangerous crew in Tel Aviv who are, they realize if they don't pursue this war, that the war crimes investigators may arrest them, may come for them.
That's right. Mr. Gosling, Israel seems to understand that controlling the narrative is also part of the war. How effective do you think this strategy has been in shaping the global public opinion against it?
Well, I think it's been, I mean, I hate to say it, a very successful strategic communications campaign by the Israelis, because they have had their agents and their friends in many parts of the world working within the press to make sure that their point of view and their messages get out to the public. So it's a form of mind control that the way people perceive this conflict is being managed by them through mass communications, mostly, of course, through television, radio, and national newspapers. But, you know, as an example of that, we've had Double Down News, an excellent news service in London, which never really gets aired on any of the mainstream press. But Double Down News explained, I think it's Richard Sanders, one of the editors there, he explained that the Israelis are putting out information about journalists, which is false. So what they're doing is they're accusing them of working for Hamas, even though they're not, though this is just a lie. And then if that lie is repeated, as it often is in the Western press, those journalists will then be executed. Because this is a way of testing to see if the Western press has got any kind of moral standing when it comes to fact-checking, this sort of thing. So we hear all about fake news, don't we? But actually, of course, it's some of the most important mainstream media that's producing this fake news, not necessarily social media and freelance independent journalists and investigative journalists. And they are testing the system like that. And so I think it's a struggle. It's a real struggle to get the truth out and even to be reasonably balanced, because there is an aggressive information warfare campaign being launched by the Israeli Defense Forces and the Israeli government in collaboration with their agents and their friends, agents of influence, etc. Some may be paid agents as well within say, for example, in the British press and within the Western press more generally. But also, of course, they've got their agents and collaborators within the political system too. So they may be, for example, backing up some of the lies that the Israelis have been telling. I think in many ways this is even more of an information war than it is an intelligence war or a fighting war, because it seems to me that at the moment is in the vanguard. So they're seeing by what they can get away with in the Western press, what they can then get away with on the ground.
Tony Gosling, historian and